And we're back. Unfortunately, my OBS decided it wanted to crash on me. So, yeah, that's a thing. Anywho, let's continue on with the main scenario quest. Tis unfortunate that OBS decided it wanted to crash. Also, need to make sure that all my things are working. So... refresh this. Okay. Sound alerts. Refresh. Okay. And of course, chat. Refresh. Okay. Okay, now chat is working. Anywho, let's continue on. It's unfortunate that OBS decided to crash. Now, where is our quest? Here he is. Half an ode. Good to see you, Wolf Mage. I was starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Captain Ilberd sends his regards, by the way. He attended the interrogation of Rowley in Ul'dah. He's attending the interrogation of Ellyn Rowley even in Ul'dah, even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the IV upon your return. Whoops, I did not mean to skip that. I trust that which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Aetheryte Drageusion. There, it's ready. Huh, it worked, I think. Whoa. Try attuning to the Aetheryte now. Feel for Feel for your current and for the current and try to locate the beacon. We have done all we can, Wolf Mage. For now, let's withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon where we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you will arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Speak without renown. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have altered Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual. If she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moonbreeda's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has managed a message for you from Sir Emmer. Well, either it's DDoSers or my computer just lost internet. Looks like it's just DDoSers, or my game just did something weird. But I'm apparently still streaming. Okay, my game just disconnected. Good, it's not DDoSers or anything, it's just my game disconnecting. Uh, Before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Emmerich. Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person and asks that I read to you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it is not her knights who stand up poised to defend her. Wolfmage Corwin, the warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for self-defense, you wield yours in service to a greater cause. May Halone bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Okay, let's see if I have a friend. Oh. Friends online. Let's see. No one is online. Let's see. What is company is this button? Members, is anyone online? Tell. HELO, would you like to be in FIGHTI? HIVA. Hello, would you like to join me in fighting Shiva? Let's see if that FC member is available. And we are going to enter as summoner. Carbuncle is ready. And it looks like our friend is not willing to help, so let's queue up, and while we're waiting, we can go pick up a weekly hunt. In Ul'dah. Okay, so that guy's not available, so Let's see what our weekly hunt is. Since we have time for it while we wait for the duty finder. Come on. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Let's see, which weekly mark do we have? White Joker in the Central Shroud. Bent Branch Meadows. Yes. Yes. Oh, hello, Primal. Did you notice that I gifted you a new avatar on Stream Avatars? You are now Raptor. Okay, so just fly around, see if I can find my getting lag spikes. And we're just flying around looking for our mark. And our chat will tell us when we're close to it. We're just scanning the map. Yep. Looks like the AFCAP amphitheater is ready. Oh, I guess I'll take care of that later after stream.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Time for a Diamond Dance. /DANCE. Scatter like dust in the wind. Favorite song of all the ARR primals and post-ARR primals, right here. Oblivion. Breath, there's nothing left. And my goodness. Up in sweat. Let's go. The wolf wins. Time for a mass dance. Because we won.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you. Following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of Light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the Keeper of the Lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift. Hear, feel, think.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
Okay, so now we talk to who? Milwib. I mean, not Milwib, Moonbrita. Where's Moonbrita? Is she invisible again? Yep, my quest objective is invisible again. There she is, Moonbrita. By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dravanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough. I was only asking. The road less traveled. Moonbrita remains unconvinced that you have not sustained head injury. If you ask me, there's naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the rising sun, say. I'll get everyone to the meeting to meet us there. Oh, and before that, you had best pay a visit to White Room Front and speak with Alpha Note. He's probably worried sick about you. That or he's busy playing at politics with his the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. Oops, I just flew over my objective. Come on, go down. Thank you. There he is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning, but not too late to prevent further loss of life. An outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have Wolfmage to thank. Yes, you're right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be contacting, be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Either is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days or weeks or moons, even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillamont is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenantstall. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the same supplies the heretics stole from House Forton Caravan? Lest the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment. Yes. Strictly a fraction of what was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. On an unrelated note, Wolfmage, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk your life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I'm told. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think it less of him. Oh, hi, Dad. Boop. Now you're a wolf. Not a blockhead. Hate it when this happens. The NPCs take a while to load in. Especially when it happens with main quest NPCs. There we go. Wash font. What were you thinking, Wolf Mage? Wagering your very being on a doubtless on a debut theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient for warning to complete her ritual summoning to summon Shiva anyway. And then engaging the abomination in Mortal Kombat by the Fury Wolf Mage, 'tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder if the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But here you are now. That is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphina in private. He awaits you at the intercessory. Greetings, sir. I shall show you it at once.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Natalan.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We, too, have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am. Now, why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind?
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
I'm so glad that I really hope that my stream does not crash 3 times today. It's already crashed once because the streaming tool I'm using, OBS, has decided to crash itself, not because of internet issues this time, but hopefully it will not happen again today. I've been having issues with that lately. By the way, I have sound alerts if you want to play with those, including this one. If I can play it. Yes, I have a Wolfo sound alert. I also have ones to jump scare me if you are so inclined. Even though it says bits, it doesn't cost any bits for my sound alerts. Bits are a purchasable currency with real money, so I don't charge for my sound alerts. Though I may start doing so if for just a few of them, like the jump scare, if I do become partner. But for right now, I don't have access to bits. I can't make money off of Twitch. For one with reason to celebrate, Alphanode looks rather grim. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's method of summoning Shiva defies all predecessor the necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reach Imperial ears. The Garlean Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to the very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but the civilized people as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish outright. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadversidly. Come with me. It is better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. Where's that crystal? we are done with the loading screen. Hello, let me into the cellar. There we go.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Curthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as, damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end.
but he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Menphilia would discuss how best to proceed in light of recent developments. I mean to secure the annals of knowledge for Midgard's Summer of Mid. I mean to secure the annals for knowledge of Midgard Summer. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Did you hear that? The commotion outside. Would you see if aught is amiss? Wolfmage, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Rowley has escaped. It happened shortly after the Imperials Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Rowley quitting the city via the Gate of Nald with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castrum Meridianum. I am certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilberd and the first are hot upon her Rowley's heels. No. Pray make haste to Camp Bluefang and join the hunt. That is in Thanalan, Northern Thanalan, Camp Bluefang. No, I am not going to use it. I have the right ticket. It says they're right here. There you go. There he is, Ilberd. My thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Rowley walked through the camp not a bell ago. She walked right through. Did you not? I did not. You do not mishear. We have Raban's desertion to keep. We have Raban's desertion to keep the matter secret to think for that. Decision to keep the matter secret to think for that. But bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Raleigh must not be allowed to reach Castor Meridianum. Oh, come on. I could have easily went through that gap. It says they're right here. Okay, let's see what the cutscene has to say. This watch was with Raleigh. This wretch was with Raleigh. He threw himself at us with his mistress that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, the goddamn harpy. With me, Scion, we've almost have her. Okay, hold on a sec. That popping sound is actually coming from being caused by sound effects. Okay. That should fix it. When there are too many sound effects, it causes audio problems. Whoops.
God damn it.
Oh, duty failed because Elbard died. Damn it. But I'm not averse to playing this on E to Z mode because I can't keep up with the damage. We already saw this scene. Whoa, we getting lag spikes. Come on. Duty complete. Okay, good. Pant, pant. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good work, men. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold the respected officer of the immortal flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see how see you fall so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never shown any want, known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it's your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice we low-born Ishgardians must endure. It to the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagine me a paragon when I joined the flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Raban himself was born to poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortune. We accepted the hand we had been dealt, and played it to the best of our ability. Come on. Next line. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true that we were both mercenaries of low birth, and 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles, but whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, sold your comrades. If life has taught me anything, it it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. He will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. Not so much as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sordid business is finally at an end. I'm afraid a friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Roban chose his.
I've heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Roban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
Alphanode would ask another favor of you. Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Roban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Memphilia of all that has happened. I am aware the antecedent held Rowley in high regard. For better or for worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. Pray return to the Rising Stones. Pray return to the rising stones. Oh, it seems like it's my lunchtime, so I have to go eat lunch. Never mind. I have to vacuum my room really quick. Hold on, it'll only take a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Luckily, I have the smallest room in the house, so it doesn't take very long for me to vacuum. Anywho, let's continue. Like, literally, my bed takes up most of the room in my bedroom.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say.
That's how you say her name? Wayu? I was saying it wrong the entire time.
Together with Robon, Eline lent us much-needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll...
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
'Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auracite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Primal, you changed back. I gave you the raptor. Why'd you change back?
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the Primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, He used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Voris Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Huh, triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monetarist scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! One day I will purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cardinal Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Uldah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Rauban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Memphilia is considering which of her many responsibilities demands her utmost attention. Hello, Zephy. You appear to be new in my chat, so... You appear to be new, so I'm going to pin you up and do what I do with every new person. Time for it to rain stars on your head. Pin. Now you can buy some avatars. I'm most eager to address the ASEAN threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with this guard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many responsibilities. Hold on, I need to take this call. Lest you forget, antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Wolfmage, in particular, is ever as a steadying hand who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? And as expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revolution that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Rippled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters well in hand here. Moonbreeda's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Ryanje is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own way. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unresolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Wolfmage, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphinaud and his braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Raul's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish to keep secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate Ul'dah's roots. Ul'dah riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. I'm gonna go see if lunch is ready, and if it is, I'm gonna put it on the Be Right Back screen. 1 second. Lunch is not ready. That we're not getting lunch on time. It's been happening late of late. Pleasure as always, Wolfmage. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I trust. Take it. Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found their way into the refugees' hands as a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising, a rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer hole up in Highbridge, near Highbridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not nearly already have clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Wolfmage, doesn't it? Generous fellow, he was dealing out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disheartened. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if ye want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, Ffxiv. Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his client. What say you, Wolfmage? Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Oh, please tell me it's not. Please tell me my stream isn't crashing. Okay, good. Please tell me it didn't crash. Please tell me my stream didn't just crash and restart. Please. Thank God. Okay. I think I'm gonna end my stream for today because it looks like I'm losing internet. Until next time, I have been Wolfmage1011. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.